Revival happens for those who are ready to only preach Christ. Preach Christ. He preached to them Christ. Many people preach themselves. By the time you finish listening to them, you heard everything about them and heard nothing about Christ. Preach Christ, not philosophy. Preach Christ, not psychology. We have a generation of people today that are bamboozling people with a lot of grammar. Preach Christ, not grammar. Preach Christ, not confusing exegetical theologies. You see people who are just, they preaching is an argument. He's arguing with himself. How would you say that? What's up? You are wondering what the quarrel is. Argument. No. He didn't say so, he said this. He didn't say like this, he said that. At the end of the day, nobody is saved. Nobody is delivered. Nobody is healed. Nobody is liberated. Everybody is confused. Preach Christ, not another pastor. There are some people who said that their assignment is to correct people. Tiny people. Tiny people, tiny. Sent to correct the body. Nobody is saved from that correction. Nobody is healed. Somebody left church. Somebody is angry. Unbelievers are armed to attack church. You arm the unbeliever. Peter talked with Paul in a corrective manner in the church, not on social media. Preach Christ. When we went to Pakistan, the message was simple. The love of Jesus. When we went to Madagascar, it was simple. It was simple. I am not to teach some theology. Preach Christ. The reason why we have a bankruptcy of power today is because people are so interested maybe because of the lack of power, they are looking for what to fill the space. Because of the lack of power, the lack of manifestation, the lack of tangible operations of God. They have to fill the gap with arguments, with theology. When you live here, tell your friend. Because many of us, we think everything we see on television is correct. We think everything we find on social media is right. No. Tell your friends. Don't let social media disciple you, pastor you. Be pastored authentically. Preach Christ. For me here, my heart is too filled with matter. I'm thinking of Colombia, I'm thinking of Venezuela. When we were in the island of Madagascar, my mind went straight to the South Pacific Islands. All the islands in that place. People came from Mauritius, they came from Comoros Islands to Madagascar. They said, please come to us. They flew 3 hours on the Indian Ocean to come. They need Jesus Christ. The South Pacific places there, from New Zealand, you go to Solomon Islands, you go to all those islands in those places, they're still looking for Jesus Christ. Then you come and have the time to stand and say, you said this, that one, say that. This is what is meant to be said. Say what you think is the right thing. Most of the times it's bankruptcy of assignment, lack of work to do. If you have so much on your hands, you don't have time for petty, this one say this one didn't say that. You are too busy in prayer, busy to set the captive free. One person that you saw that was not yet healed is a burden in your heart. You are looking for more ways to help people, trusting God for more mantle to save generations. They're just there messing and making a mess of everything, causing Satan to be happy. I mean the people of the kingdom of darkness, Antichrist kingdom, to have what to say. Say, tell it not in Gath, publish it not in the streets of Askelon. Let the daughters of the uncircumcised rejoice. Here they are telling it in Gath, telling it to the daughters of the uncircumcised, publishing it in the camp of the uncircumcised, singing, talking to the Ashkelonites, giving them the cause to blaspheme God and blaspheme the church. If you have nothing to do from tonight, go preach Christ. And when you preach Christ, like Philip preached Christ, you know what will happen? You will convulse nations. You disciple territories. You deliver communities, not just individuals. You deliver communities. You overrun the devil. You run the devil out of towns. You run the devil out of cities. You run the devil out of nations. Somebody sent me a clip the other day about someone talking so terribly against Rehoboam and his ministry. A man who has died. say Rehabonki did this, Rehabonki did that, Rehabonki did. It was the Rehabonki crusade director that sent it to me. He said, do you know this man? Do you see what he's talking about? I said, oh, calm down, relax. That is a man reacting to failure. I said, he talks about so many people. He's a man who realized too late that he achieved nothing with his life. And he's trying to make relevance. He realized too late that he achieved nothing with his life. So he's trying to see what could make him relevant. So he talks like that online and all that. Calm down, there's nothing. That's what I told the crusade director. He said, thank you, this is a very good analysis. Yes, sir. If you would talk against a man who has died, who impacted nations, I gave Rehabonki an offering. I gave him a foreign currency offering. He handed it straight to the crusade director. Me, I'm talking to you directly. I said, this is for you. He said, give it to him. I asked the crusade director, I said, what is happening? He said, everything you give him goes straight for the crusades. What?
Everything.
I said, I have given for the crusade. This is to him. He said, everything is fine.
Everything.
And the crusade director told me a very funny story. That they went somewhere. They gave Rehabonki big money, like 100,000.
Crusade.
Sea of human heads. Sea of human heads.
That is what somebody's talking about.
Last crusade.
Wait. And he said they gave Rehabonki like $100,000. This is the offering. And gave the crusade director like $5,000 or $10,000 as offering. He told the crusade director, put all of it in the crusade offering, in the crusade budget. Crusade director said, yes, sir. But excuse me, sir, I want to keep my own. He said, I am not at his level. He can give everything he wants, but let me grow gradually. Do you understand what I'm saying? Talk about it. Preach Christ. Every detail of what Christ said, preach it. Don't that if there is darkness, just turn on the light and let the light handle the darkness. You have what to say, say it. Let what you are saying be the thing that will correct what is not correct. When you preach Christ, when you proceed in simplicity, and you don't proceed in theology, and you don't proceed in attack and confrontation, and you don't proceed in this is my denomination, and you don't proceed in preaching yourself and making you feel so big and so important and so right and everybody is rubbish, you will see deliverance of territories. You will see deliverance of nations. You will see deliverance of communities. Lift your hands and say aloud, amen.